Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Learning Entangled. We'll be covering the topic profit and loss in today's lecture. We'll go through 10 multiple choice questions to test your understanding and improve your problem solving skills. So please grab a notebook and stay focused. Let's dive in. Question number 1. A shopkeeper buys an item for 800 rupees and sells it for 1000 rupees. What is his profit percentage? A. 20%, B. 25%, C. 30%, or D. 40%. Okay. So first of all, how do we calculate profit? So profit is what? It is selling price minus the cost price, right? So what is the selling price? It is 1000 rupees minus the cost price, which is what? 800 rupees. So my profit is 200 rupees. Now profit percentage is always calculated on the cost price. So it would be my profit divided by the cost price, which is 800 times 100. And when you solve it, you get 25%. So therefore my answer is B, 25%. All right. Let's move on to the next question. If an article is sold at a loss of 10% and its selling price is 540 rupees, what is its cost price? A. 600 rupees, B. 650 rupees, C. 500 rupees, or D. 700 rupees. Okay. What is the cost price? So we don't know the cost price. Let's assume that the cost price is X. Now it is sold at a loss of 10%. The selling price is X minus 10% of X, or the selling price is basically 90% of the cost price. So this is given to me. This is equal to what? It is 540. So this is your equation. You can go ahead and solve it for X, and your answer is A, 600 rupees. Okay, let's move on to question number 3. A person sells an item at 20% profit. If the cost price is 500 rupees, what is its selling price? A, 550 rupees, B, 600 rupees, C, 650 rupees, or D, 700 rupees. All right, let's see. We are given the cost price of an article is 500 rupees and the person is selling the item at a 20% profit. So that means the person is selling it for how much? It is selling it for 120% of the cost price. 120% of 500. So this should be your selling price. So which is 600 rupees. So therefore your answer is B, 600 rupees. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. A product is sold for 1,440 rupees after 2 successive discounts of 20% and 10%. What was the marked price? Okay, let's see. So we don't know the marked price. Let's see. Suppose that the marked price is X. So now the first discount on the product was for 20%. So that means we are selling the product after giving 20% discount. That means we are selling the product at 80% of the value, right? This would be the selling price. But then we are also giving another 10% discount on this value. So if we are giving a 10% discount, that means the final value would be what? 90% of this value. And this final selling price, this is given to me 1440. Okay. So you can go ahead and solve for the value of X. And then your answer is A, 2000 rupees. Okay, question number 5. A seller marks up an item by 50% and gives a discount of 20%. What is the profit percentage? Okay, so we are only talking about percentages. We are not given any exact values. So what we'll do is, let us assume that the initial cost of the item is 100 rupees. Now the seller is marking it up by 50%. So that means, so this is my cost. Now he's marking it up by 50%. That means he's marked it for 150 rupees, right? This is the marked price. He's giving a discount of 20%. So therefore the selling price is 80%, right, of the marked price, which is 150. So you can solve it and you would get the selling price is 120 rupees. So what is the profit percentage? So the cost price was 100 and the selling price is 120. How much profit did he make? 20 rupees profit on 100 rupees. So therefore, what is the profit percentage? 20%. So the answer is B, 20%. Question number 6. A merchant makes a profit of 15% on selling a laptop at 34,500. What was its cost price? A, 30,000, B, 32,000, C, 28,500, or D, 27,000. Okay, so we don't know the cost price. Let's assume that the cost price is X. And the merchant is selling it at a 15% profit. So that means the merchant is selling it for how much? It's selling it for 115% of the cost price. So this selling price is given to me. This is equal to what? 34,500. So you go ahead, simplify for X. And then you'll get your answer. And the answer is A, 30,000. Question number 7. A product is marked at 800 rupees and sold at 640 rupees. Find the discount percentage. A, 15%, B, 18%, C, 20%, or D, 40%. Okay, let's see. So the marked price of the article is given 800 rupees and the selling price is given 640 rupees. So can you calculate the discount? How do we calculate the discount? Discount is always calculated on the marked price. So it's marked price minus the selling price. So it's 800 minus 640, which is what? 160 rupees. So this is the discount. Now I need to find the discount percentage. So the discount percentage would be the amount of discount, and it is always calculated on the marked price. So divided by the original marked price times 100. Okay, so which comes out to be 20%. Therefore your answer is C, 20%. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 8. A trader mixes two types of rice, one costing 40 rupees per kg and the other costing 50 rupees per kg, in the ratio 2:3. What is the cost of the mixture? Okay, so a trader has two kinds of rice. One is 40 rupees for a kg, and the other one that is given to me, it is 50 rupees per kg. And he mixes them in the ratio 2:3. So if I say he mixes 2 kg of the first kind of rice, then how much of the second kind he would be mixing? The ratio is 2:3, so he would be mixing 3 kg of the second rice. So if I calculate the cost, so 2 kg and each 2 kg of the first kind of rice. So it's 2 times 40, so that would be this. And the cost for the second kind of rice would be 3 times 50. Now we have to calculate the cost of the mixture. So the cost of the mixture would be what? The total cost divided by the total weight, which is what now? 5 kgs. So this is 80 plus 150 divided by 5, which is 230 divided by 5, which is 46 rupees. Therefore, your answer is D, 46 rupees. Question number 9. If the profit earned after selling an article for 2000 rupees is the same as the loss incurred when sold for 1500 rupees, what is the cost price? A, 1750, B, 1800, C, 1850, or D, 1900. Have to find the cost price, so let us assume the cost price is X. Now, what is profit? Profit is selling price minus the cost price. So the selling price is 2000 minus the cost price, which is X. And what is loss? Loss is cost price minus selling price. So I don't know the cost price, so it's X minus my selling price now, in this case is 1500. And I'm given that this profit is equal to the amount of loss. So therefore, 2000 minus X is equal to X minus 1500. Or I can say minus 2X is equal to minus 3500. Or X is equal to 3500 by 2, which is 1750 rupees. So therefore, my cost price is A, 1750. Okay, coming to the last question. A trader sells an article at 20% profit. If he had bought it at 20% less and sold it for rupees 5 less, he would have gained 25%. Find the cost price. A, 100 rupees, B, 50 rupees, C, 25 rupees, or D, 66.67 rupees. Okay, so first of all, we don't know the cost price. Let's say the cost price is X. So what is given to us? A trader sells an article at 20% profit. So I'm giving the selling price, which is at a 20% profit. So therefore, if my cost price is X, so the selling price becomes 120% of X. Now he's saying if he had bought it at 20% less. So instead of X, the new cost price, he's saying, is 20% less. So that means it's what? 80% of X. And sold it for 5 rupees less, he would have gained 25%. Okay. So I'm given that in this case, there's a profit. So how do we calculate profit? Profit is selling price minus cost price, right? So let's see what the new selling price is. So it's saying if we had sold it for 5 rupees less. So that means instead of the original selling price, we had sold it for 5 rupees less, minus 5. Now we would have gained 25%. So the profit is given. So profit would be 120 by 100x minus 5. This is the new selling price minus my new cost price, which is 80 by 100x. So let's simplify this. The x terms get subtracted. So I get 40 by 100x minus 5. So this is my profit, right? But it is given that the profit percentage is 25%. So 25, this should be equal to what? 25% profit. And it is always calculated on what? The cost price. So the new cost price, which is 80% of x, right? This is 1/4 and this is 20% of x. So let's simplify this. I get 5 comes here. So 40 by 100x minus 20 by 100x becomes 20 by 100x, right? Which is what? 1/5. And therefore, when you solve this, x 5 times 5, so x is 25, or my cost price is C, 25 rupees. Okay? So that is everything that we'll be covering in today's lecture. Thank you for tuning in. You have a wonderful day ahead.